Hi everyone. I wanted to put together this video just to give some more explanation about these last couple of weeks of the year. And the last assignment that I have for you is this final project. There aren't going to be any new assignments, and it's really just going to be for you to make sure that you've made up any of the previous assignments, which could help you with this final project. So I'm going to just show the project over here. You should have seen this PowerPoint slide or Google Slides in Schoology, and I'm going to make sure it's uploaded on Schoology as well. So this final project is for whether you're in Algebra 1, in Algebra 2, or in Pre-Calculus this year for me, okay? This is an opportunity for you to reflect on and share your learning experience on math this year. So you are able to choose the learning targets to reflect on, and you also choose the way you want to present this. Some due dates to keep in mind is that whatever your choices that you're making for starting the project, you'll have to complete it by this Wednesday, this week. And then there are some checkpoints for you to keep in mind. So then you have to make sure that you're showing your progress at the end of each of these checkpoints. Then again, the final project is due Thursday, and I put that just because senior grades are due on Friday, June 5th. And if there's any reason that I give any feedback and it's still not going to be a satisfactory project, then I would hand it back to you, and then you'd have the time for the last week of school to be able to make up for that and make sure to improve that. If you still have any other questions on grades, I did put that presentation before on Google Slides, so then go to there first, see if it answers all your questions, and if you still have questions, just let me know. So we know this is an individual project, and it's kind of like a portfolio for you to look back on any of your previous work, and you get to reflect on your work that you've done. So you get to share your strengths or weaknesses, and also where you've improved in understanding math. You get to respond to these reflection questions that I have. And you would, again, choose the learning targets that you want to respond to, and then you pick the artifacts, your own work, to present there. Okay, so these are the kinds of reflection questions that you would have to respond to. It says you must respond to at least one of these as many times as you like. So say, for example, you like this question. Take a problem you worked this semester that you struggled to understand and solve, and explain how the struggle itself was valuable. Say that you wanted to just answer that question for every single learning target. That is totally fine, okay? If you want to answer all of them, one for each learning target, then that is fine too, okay? So you decide how you want to respond to these, or which ones you want to respond to. If you're in Algebra 1, these are the learning targets you have to keep in mind. You have to pick a learning target from weeks 1 through 12. And then the other learning target you have to pick from is from the ones from weeks 13 to 20, okay? Same idea for Algebra 2. These are your learning targets from the spring semester. And then Pre-Calculus, you have these learning targets. Pre-Calculus, you do have an optional topics for you to explore further. And I am going to provide some more resources for you to explore. And I will also give some video lessons too on these. But there aren't any assignments on those. Those are the ones that are just for these last couple of weeks. And they're helpful for you to learn before if you are taking Calculus A next or in the future, okay? That can replace any of these learning targets, these sections. Once you've chosen your learning targets, you would have to find at least 4 artifacts that show your own learning from those topics. So you can take anything from your notes, the Schoology assignments that you've done. It's also helpful if you look back on any feedback that I've given, and then you can share what you've improved on from getting that feedback, or what you understood better from getting that feedback. You look at any textbook problems that we've done and you've written them down. You can also take screenshots of the quizzes problems that we've done, and then also from any Desmos activities. So I'll make sure that any of these that were exclusively online, that they're still available to you to be able to view. And this is the part that is going to ensure in order to be successful for this final project, you have to make sure that you've submitted enough assignments, because if you have not submitted those assignments, then you probably don't have enough artifacts for those learning targets. You will have to submit work through Schoology, and I will grade them until Monday, June 1st, because I think that is enough time for you to have gotten some work into those topics at this point. And then after you finally decided the learning targets and the what kind of artifacts that you can use, you choose the task in which you want to present it. So you can either do a Google Slides portfolio, you can create a video where you're presenting it yourself and you're showing the artifacts, you make a booklet or a binder, or you can do a performance piece. So it's up to you how you want to present it, just as long as it follows all the pieces for the rubric. I did make it specific of the kind of checkpoints that I want to see, so you should make sure to share those drafts on Schoology. On the Google Slides portfolio, I do have this template, a very bare bones template for you to follow in case you're trying to figure out how to organize it. But that's basically how each of these are like. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to form it. So this is the rubric. You should make sure that your project includes responses to each responses to the reflection questions, anyone that you wanted to respond to, has at least 2 learning targets, and then it's addressing, it provides at least 4 artifacts. You should make sure that your artifacts really are reflecting your own learning, that you are really going into depth with responding to the reflection questions. And then just that you've shown me that there was effort into creating this project. So there should be effort in the overall appearance too. Okay. If you still have questions on this, then feel free to message me. I will make sure all of this is available for you to look at on Schoology. The checkpoints, please look out for assignments where you can submit your rough drafts, or so that I get an idea where you want to go for this project. So please make sure that you are doing your best, and then I'm hoping that this project is going to be a good way for you to reflect on what you've done this year. I know that there's been a lot of doing independent individual work, and that you should be proud of yourself for the hard work that you're doing. So this is a good way of culminating what you've understood so far.